everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Miyuki and this is the first time that I'm sitting in front of a camera and talking instead of singing. So thank you for coming. On this channel that's called Behind the Writing, we will talk about personal growth, growing as an artist, and the stories behind the writing. And today we will talk about this question I think a lot of people are asking themselves. How can I trust the process more, and how do I know if I'm on the right track? So I want to give a little bit of background about my story, why I choose this subject. So I'm a singer-songwriter, and 2 years ago I followed my heart and decided to move to a different country. It was very strange because I practically didn't know anyone there, and I felt this urge to go, and actually so many beautiful things happened just because I followed this feeling inside of myself. And I've always did music, but from the moment that I've been here, things really got picked up without me even really kind of pursuing. I see a lot of my friends struggling, and I've been struggling with this also. How can I trust the process more, and how do I know that I'm on the right track? And and it's so easy to get lost in these day-to-day things, and especially when you look how things are going right now. Like, we have been pressured so much to earn enough money to get a mortgage, to get a nice place, a car or anything. We are so in this survival mode constantly that we sometimes it is really hard to get to the core of ourselves, because I think we can only get there when we are silent, and it is hard to be silent if there is so many noise. We have our phones, we have distractions, but mostly this pressure to work hard. And I think the more and more important it is to take these little moments for yourself to truly connect to yourself. Because in these moments of stillness, answers will come. There's this monk, Shi Hengyi. He's from the Shaolin temple, and I feel always very inspired by him when I listen to him. And he said that through stillness and movement, you will get different messages. If you decide to go for a walk, for example, or you do martial arts or any sport or anything where movement is involved, like active movement is involved, you will get different messages from the universe, God, source, what you want to call it, than when you just meditate, and the other way around as well. And this really opened my eyes. So I started to walk more and to have more time for myself. And it's different information. We have information that we get from our phone and from books, which is beautiful and amazing. But there is this infinite information stream that will reach everyone. And I know a lot of people who experience this, and you can experience this as well. So it's really about being still, taking this moment for yourself, maybe early in the morning. These moments are for me very precious. Or maybe when twilight is coming. So twilight, dawn. Excuse me for my English. It's always good to go back to your childhood and think about yourself as this innocent kid. What did it want, What were the things that you felt intrigued by? What were the things that you were imagining in your wild fantasies? Maybe it was standing on a stage, maybe it was writing a script, maybe it was painting something, maybe you were in an art gallery, maybe you've had beautiful conversations with someone, maybe you were someone's therapist, maybe you started a coaching business. I'm not sure if kids actually think about that, but you get what I mean, right? For me, I always had this urge to help people, and you can always ask yourself, does this come from a wound, or is this really a pure intention? And I would say a lot of the time it's a combination of that. But I always felt this urge to help people, and I knew from a very young age that music would be my messenger to do that. So just take a moment for yourself, going back and think, what was that what was that thing that you loved so much? Maybe it was playing in nature, maybe it was building, it could be so many things. And then also try to feel for yourself, at what point in life did you kind of let go of that, and why was that? Or maybe it was in your 20s when you started to need a job or anything. And really take your time with it. So I believe personally, this is also what someone said in the In Flow podcast, really amazing podcast. You should really check that out, by two beautiful women who just talk a bit like this. I believe her name is Nadine. She said, like, God put the desires in your heart for a reason. And how she said it was so beautiful. It was really touching. And I feel this resonates so much for me. Like, what is this deep desire in your heart? And it's really, I think it's one thing to know what you're good at and what you love to do. And then the other thing is we need to share it. Like, it's super important to acknowledge the gift that we have, and then we decide to share it. This is I think the purpose of life. So the next thing is, don't obsess too much. I know we've been all there, I have this too still a lot of the time, that I obsess very much with what I want and what I need. Yet at the same time, personally, because I can only speak for myself, when I look back at the most beautiful and amazing things that happened, it was all spontaneous. It was never when I pushed. I was working hard, but then actually the moment where I was like, okay, what now? And then it would come. I think it is very important to do goals, to make goals for yourself. And then at the same time, it's super important to see how you can make these goals, like that you have goals for the process. Because the process, we have to love this. If we don't love the process, there's no way we can ever achieve goals. And there's no way we can have this trust. Because if we don't like the process, we will break the promises to ourselves and we will never get to the goal. So we have to love the process. And if the process is too far from the goal or the other way around, it's hard to reach it. And then you really have to think for yourself, is this the right goal for me? For me, a big goal for me is actually to become bigger in music and to share my music in places where it's needed and where healing is needed. And I knew that showing myself online more and more would be an important thing. And this is something that I've always struggled with. I'm doing it, and it's not only because I want to achieve that goal, it's because I want to feel more comfortable being in front of the camera and then doing it more. And actually, I'm already kind of having fun right now. So we can really learn to love the process. It's not like a one-step thing. And once we are in the process and we are loving it, it's so much easier to lean into it and feel like I'm on the right track because I like what I'm doing. Another thing is, you feel joy. You feel this, when I'm making music, when I am writing, when I am doing things like this, like new things, I feel this excitement, this fire inside of me, and also this nervousness. And then we often ask ourselves, are we on the right track if we are nervous? I don't think it's that black and white. And I think there's nervousnness because you're not on the right track. And I think there's nervousness and you're definitely on the right track. And with this nervousness on the right track, there's this inner fire. There's this inner fire going on. And that, you feel like, oh, I got something here. And I'm scared to share it. You feel that, you know that. And if you don't know, don't worry. Then we go back to the stillness, we go back to this walk, to this martial arts, to this sport, to this movement, to keep you out of the mind, and then things will come in. So this is really the practice, to get out of the mind. And some people do this by meditation, and I really admire those people. But I would say to get out of my mind and to get inspired again, for me, having a walk in nature, that's all I kind of need, of course. Sometimes I need more, but this already can help so much. So just go for 5 minutes, just go for 10 minutes. Maybe you have a break between work. Put on then maybe a podcast or a meditation, or listen to a song that you lately been thinking of. All these little things can contribute, the little things. So in life, we really are used to that it's all about the grand gestures and that it's all happening overnight, and these things. But actually it doesn't. It requires consistency and a lot of work and a lot of fun in the process. It's all about the little things. It's actually a lot about the details. Not the details how you make a song or the details of how you do the filming. Maybe that will help too. I will come back to that later after I make more videos. But more like the details that you do it, like all these little extra things that you do, it matters. It matters actually a lot. And then it's almost like you're giving this signal to the universe. I want it, and I really want it, and I want it with the right intention. And what is a right intention? I think a right intention is that it's something is good for you and it's good for others. I think that's very simple, easy said, but I feel like that's where you can start finding a right intention. Like, okay, how can I help myself and how can I help others? That you truly want to do the right thing, and of course completely understand we have to live, we have to eat, we have to feed our children maybe, like these things. So yes, we need money, but if it's only money, I can guarantee you the process will be very hard, because we have to love it a lot. And if we love it, working hard doesn't matter, Like I'm right now at this point where I'm loving the process so much that I feel like I just got on a train and I'm now seeing all the different landscapes, all the different things. The last thing that I wanna say about this is trust in something bigger. With social media and all these things, we really tend to think that everything is important and that everything is big and everything matters, and then at the same time nothing matters. And I think it's super important that we have a feeling inside of ourselves that we are connected to something higher, and you can call it whatever you want. So important to connect to this part of yourself where you can feel like you are one with nature, you are one with the things around you, with the people around you. Like it's all a reflection in a way. I really want to point that out, because if you look around and you look at the sea, at the sun, at the moon, there is no mistake, Like if we would be 1,000 kilometers further from the sun, we couldn't have lived, or closer. And if we had this percentage more of sea, then we couldn't have lived, or the other way around. So like the whole earth is perfectly set up. Everything helps each other. And everything is here for a reason. Why would we be any different? So please don't be ashamed of the true desires in your heart that you have, as long as they come from a good place, from a good intention. And I really invite you to follow this. And we don't have to do this in big steps like this. We can do this in small steps. And this I will do in another video. Like, what are the steps you can take to actually come closer to this thing that you want. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Miyuki. This was Behind the Writing, episode 1. And let me know how you feel about this. I hope that I kind of maybe helped you somehow, and you already helped me by watching this. So thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe, and yes, I see you the next time. Bye.